Hey Libra, welcome back or welcome to Millennial Tarot. My name is Camille and this will be your October 2017 reading. I hope that this video is finding you well and that you are in good spirits. I've been telling all the other signs that I'm doing the past, present, future spread that I did in my last video. But I'm doing more of it, I'm using that as a framework and I'm trying to get more of an overall story. And not really get caught up on the past, present, future part, but more just the narrative of what's going on in your life, but using past, present, future as an outline, if that makes sense. I don't know if anything I said makes sense. So I'm using the General Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and I'm going to be pulling a Dreamtime Oracle card from the Aboriginal Dreamtime deck by Mel Brown, and I'm going to go within, see what's going on with you guys. Let me do a big girl shuffle first. Everyone has been getting pretty good readings. Not too crazy, just like October seems to be a month where a lot of people are kind of pulling back, resting, reevaluating. So let's see what's going on with you. Could be completely different. And welcome to your season, Libra season. So happy birthday this month. Okay. Cool. Let's see what we got. Okay. Alright. So in the past, or the recent past, the past that makes sense to you always, like why are you seeking answers? If that's the past that this would pertain to. We have the Three of Swords. In the present position, we have the Knight of Swords. And in the future position, we have the Empress. So very generally, the story here is heartbreak, someone or something rushing in with new information, and then you ultimately end up okay and kind of feeling like you're ready to take on a new chapter or a new endeavor. But so let's get some more like in-depth with these cards. So Three of Swords is a very difficult card. A lot of people like to talk about the Devil card or the Death card because those two words in our society are so like, oh my god. But those two cards aren't even as bad. And this card truly just is point blank heartbreak. It's disappointment. It could be betrayal. Just something that's keeping you up at night. I'm getting that for you. Since this is a general reading, I'm getting for you that this could be literal heartbreak within the terms of a relationship, or just something didn't pan out the way that you wanted and you took it really, really, really hard. So I'm getting, because we have the Knight of Swords rushing in to kind of say, hey, and you end up as the Empress, I'm getting that whatever happened to you, you're taking too hard and you're making it, not that you don't deserve to be upset and not that, you know, it's not worth grieving over, but I'm getting whatever did happen to you, the way that you're picturing it, the way that you're thinking about it, and the way that you're kind of rationalizing it in your life is making it even worse on you. So within the context of a relationship, an example that always comes to mind is when, you know, you're in a relationship and it doesn't work out, or you're trying to date someone and be in a relationship and they say, you know, no, and you're back out in the dating scene and you're single. And then the way that we can torture ourselves with that is then going to these completely ridiculous, ludicrous thoughts of feeling less than, not feeling pretty, not feeling thin enough, not feeling enough in general. And so that's kind of where the mind comes in and makes the situation worse than what it needs to be. And I know that you Libras are an air sign. I'm also very airy, and so we're so mental. We're so always thinking all the time. just always in our heads battling ourselves. And so with this Three of Swords, I'm getting here that though something did happen that wasn't favorable to you the way you think it should have been, because as we all know, life always arcs in a way for us personally where we understand why things happen. So you might be in the moment now where you're not understanding why it happens and you're upset about it, but always generally for everything and everyone, you receive like peace and clarity and you know why it happened and you're at peace with it. But currently you're not, because we have the Three of Swords here in the past. And I'm just receiving very strongly that you might be making this a little bit harder on yourself. I don't want to downplay if you went through a difficult time or if you really are in your feelings and you're feeling blue. Like, those are the times where we really need to step back and we really need to heal. We really need to kind of reassess what is it we wanted and what didn't work out and all that stuff. But please, Libra, do not ever be in a state of mind that this card is suggesting and that I'm just generally picking up of you just being down on yourself. That is treacherous energy to be in, and to be frank, it's probably not true, because Libras are awesome and you're awesome if you're seeking these answers anyway. So I'm getting clearly that something didn't work out. It could have been a financial thing didn't work out. You lost something that was a prized possession to you. Someone let you down. Maybe it doesn't have to be strictly a romantic relationship, but you were expecting someone to do something or to be someone for you, and they didn't really meet your expectation, and they didn't really do that, or maybe they even betrayed you. And so that's kind of what you're coming into October with. But I'm getting from the rest of these cards that you are triumphing. You are triumphant, rather, in the end. So we have the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is a knight that is rushing in. You know, I try to read these cards half what I've studied, half the normal meanings, and then kind of also looking in at the imagery of the cards themselves. So he's kind of rushing in. The horse is not really too fond of what he's rushing into, maybe a battle. So just thinking of the picture, and I'll get to the other meanings later, but also thinking about the picture and what this can mean if it surrounds a disappointment, that you may be feeling less than, and some people, when they feel that way, they may go on the defensive or the offensive, right? So they may go to someone, you may be thinking, oh, I've really been hurt by this person, and I really kind of want to get back at them. I want to, post this really passive-aggressive social media thing, or I want to let them know why they're wrong, or I want to let them know about themselves. I want to read them for filth, all that stuff, all that energy. That could be a Knight of Swords energy. He's rushing in, and the sword is always information, it's always thoughts, it's always ideas. So he's rushing in with information, with an idea and with language that may not be serving the situation here, because we see the look of trepidation on the horse, and the knight's kind of just going for it anyway. So in the context of a heartbreak, if this relates to you, if this is something that you feel like you have words for somebody and you know they're not going to be kind, but you feel the catharsis, it's like an emotional thing sometimes to put people in their place, probably don't do that. And if you are feeling that way, the Knight of Swords kind of confirms that you are right to feel that way, but don't take any action around it. The Knight of Swords can also be someone else rushing into you with information. So if you were disappointed about something, if you were, left feeling bereft, left feeling like you didn't have an explanation, the Knight of Swords can mean that in the month of October, someone is coming into you with some clarity, with some information about why they treated you a certain way, why it happened. Maybe someone's coming to you with some advice that helps you reconceptualize the disappointment, the heartbreak, and you're able to kind of see it in a new light and a new perspective that helps you feel better about whatever this Three of Swords may be pertaining to for you, Libra. So the Knight of Swords, to me, generally for the month of October, is watch what you are saying, watch what you are thinking, and also pay attention to the things that other people may be trying to tell you. A person might be telling you why they broke up with you. A person may be telling you why they didn't think you were a good fit. Something. It doesn't have to be information that you even want to hear, but it's information that you need to hear in order to get closure, to get a broader perspective of why this happened to you. And so you can heal and move on, right? It's hard to heal and move on when we are just wondering, and this can be a wondering, like why, woe is me type of card, especially because swords are so cerebral and so mind-based. You may just be in your mind, and so someone kind of rushing in to kind of cut through that, as he's pictured doing, might be helpful for you in this month. So keep a lookout for that. It also could just be you reaching a new space of being like, you know, I was upset about that in September or August or whatever the past is for you, but I'm kind of coming in with some new ideas that I'm generating by myself, just seeking answers and seeking a closure that I'm going to create for myself. So it might not be another person. It could very much be you, Libra, because you are an air sign, and swords do relate to the air signs. So in the future position, or the outcome, we have the Empress, and this has been coming up so much in a lot of readings, and you saw me shuffle, and I shuffled before, and it's like when the things keep coming up, it just further, I don't know, it just kind of makes sense that we're all going on very similar journeys as humans. So the Empress card is the card of fertility. It's the card of laying a fertile ground for a goal or something that you want to be manifest. And the Empress is here sitting on her throne, not a care in the world. It's kind of like what she knows, what she wants, she knows is going to happen. And if it's closure, if it's happiness, if it's peace that you want, the Empress is here to tell you that it is going to happen in this month, or kind of at the tail end, maybe in the beginning of November as well. That the clarity around the situation, the closure around the situation, just an alleviation of any sadness or depression that may have been associated with this Three of Swords is the complete antithesis of who she is. She's very much calm and very confident in what she's able to do, and very confident in who she is. She's also the indication that any idea, any goal that you want to manifest is heard by the universe, and not only is it heard, but the seed has been planted in fertile soil. And she's like the mother of the deck, so I'm also hearing that it could be a mother figure for you, a mother-like figure, or your actual mom, or just that type of energy coming from a man or a woman that is here to help give you counsel, to be like the soothing balm on whatever heartbreak that the Three of Swords meant for you. But I do hear clearly and see clearly and just intuitively know that this Empress is who you are going to be. In the month of October, you are gaining whatever strength and whatever confidence to be this Empress card. And if it was a love relationship that didn't pan out, the Empress is you feeling good again to get back out there, or at least you feeling good enough to not be down on yourself again. And if it was a disappointment surrounding home, family, or money, she kind of represents to me in this spread for you for this specific month that you guys are able to reach understanding that peace is restored. So it's looking up for October. I'm going to, a lot of the stories and a lot of the readings have been coming out of bad times, and October being the kind of the launch pad back into peace, back into balance, and back into clarity. So that's been coming up a lot for a lot of the signs, is that maybe summer or just most of 2017 has been a little bit difficult, and October seems for a lot of people to be the ending of that, which is not very surprising because October is 10, and 10s in the tarot always mean the end of a karmic cycle. So the end of something, the culmination of something. And if the culmination surrounded around heartbreak, then it's like the end of heartbreak. It's the end of disappointment, the end of despair in this month. So I'm going to pull some clarifying cards for you. See if we can get more information here. I also forgot to say in the beginning of the video, thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing. I hate doing that in like the middle of the reading, but gratitude is important, and I need you guys to know that I'm grateful. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Oh, beautiful, Libra. Okay, let me show you what we pulled. To clarify the Three of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles. To clarify the Knight of Swords, if I was saying King of Swords before, then forgive me. But it's the Knight of Swords. And to clarify that, we have the Four of Pentacles. And to clarify this Empress card, we have the Lovers. Isn't that cool? So, not the Empress. She looks like the Empress. But the Nine of Pentacles here with the, pretty much the disappointment card, the Three of Swords, is that your heartbreak surrounded around money, finance for sure. It could have surrounded your home life. Something didn't go through. Maybe you're trying to sell a home. Maybe you had like a home that was destroyed or something happened and you know you're having to pay. So the Nine of Pentacles is so 9 is close to 10, so she's almost at her journey, the 10 of Pentacles being like the ultimate culmination of all material happiness. So Pentacles always relate to material possessions and the ins and outs of life, the mundanities of life, you know, good luck and cash and health and all the bills and stuff, like the ins and outs. So the Nine of Pentacles represents kind of being at peace and at balance with all those factors that influence our lives. And so when the Nine of Pentacles is clarifying the Three of Swords, it kind of means that you weren't at peace with your home life, you weren't at peace with your bank accounts, you just weren't at peace. It's the complete opposite of what the Knight of Pentacles would want to give you. So I see here that some Libras were definitely dealing with a financial hardship, a financial heartbreak. The Nine of Pentacles is also a woman, though the Suit of Pentacles has to do with what I just explained, and Cups deal more with emotions. It could also very much mean that the radiancy and the glowing and the feeling of beautiful and the feeling of attractiveness and feeling magnetic as she is here with all these pentacles was destroyed for you. Maybe because of the end of the relationship and you just weren't feeling that in yourself. You weren't feeling you were able to access that in yourself. Or a dating relationship, just any rejection by another person. And then very frankly, pentacles are the earth signs. So Taurus, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Yes, the heartbreak could have been at the hand of any of those three signs or anyone who has those three signs placed prominently in their chart. You could also have it placed prominently in your chart, which is something that I always mention to check your rising, your moon, as well as your Mercury, your Venus, and your Mars. So that's what the Nine of Pentacles means there. So the Four of Pentacles with this Knight of Swords, it's kind of like opposite energies here, at least for this reading. So this guy is kind of like rushing in to do something, to get something done. And this guy is sitting, holding still, and holding on to what he has. So this is very much the attitude that you could be in, especially if this hardship you went through was financial. You could be like, yo, nothing's going out. I'm not going to spend my money on anything. I'm going to keep it as close to the chest, as close to the heart as possible. In order to regain any financial strength that you might have lost. The Four of Pentacles also means stubbornness. It's the agoraphobia card, not leaving the house, not really going out and enjoying yourself. If you're depressed, disappointed, that could be certainly something that you're doing, just kind of keeping to yourself, closed off. And here with the Knight of Swords, it could be there's an aspect of yourself that wants to get up, that wants to rise above, that wants to transcend what happened to you, that really wants to get going again. But another part of yourself is kind of licking their wounds. It's kind of, you know, a little bit trepidatious about heading out into the world again after the heartbreak or after the disappointment. You're just feeling very closed in. And for good reason, whatever happened to you, Libra, I'm sorry. And maybe none of this happened to you at all. So check your other signs as well. But I'm getting here that it's a very stuck energy that you're in, and that October will offer you the release that you need here through the Knight of Swords. If this is, like I said, the Knight of Swords kind of being rash words or being a little bit insensitive towards whoever was on the giving side of the heartbreak that you experienced, the Four of Pentacles could kind of be your stubbornness to have like an adult discourse with them. It could be your stubbornness to kind of like let it go, to let that bad energy go, to let the need for revenge go. So yeah, it's just a very closed off energy. And with the Empress card being clarified by the Lovers card, it really means that everything's going to be okay. Like, these are two very beautiful, bright cards. The Lovers card is also the sign of Gemini, which is your fellow air sign, and on your other fellow air sign, Aquarius. So us air signs are having some issues, but it's all coming up roses in the end. So the Lovers card here with the Empress card means that certainly if this was a love relationship that went south, you may not be getting a new relationship, but you're feeling desired again. You're feeling like I can even muster to start dating again. You're feeling that didn't work out and I'm ready to find the person who's right for me. If this is more to do with your health, your financial life, just the home, the matters of home and the ins and outs of life, I'm getting that the Lovers mean that you have a new idea. It's a new desire. It's a new, it's like a fresh start. So the Lovers card can really... It says the Lovers, and it does specifically, it could specifically mean just love relationships and romance, but the Lovers card is also a card of a fresh new desire, something that pumps you up and makes you ready to go, and that's perfect energy to be accompanied here with the Empress card, who makes all things grow. And I forgot to say, because she's so fertile, and she's like, whatever I think I will manifest. And if this has anything to do with some of you Librans, a miscarriage, something that you were trying to conceive and it's just not working. The Lovers card here with the Empress card, which is a card of fertility, which quite literally does mean pregnancy. It means that it's going to click this time. If you're trying to get pregnant, it's gonna work this month, or it's going to work somewhere around the end of 2017. So this has been a challenging but beautiful reading. I'm sorry for whatever has happened to you, but you're rising above, Libra. It's your season that we're doing this in, kind of, and you're rising above. It's going to be okay. So let me pull a overall clarifying card from this Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle deck. My neighbors are so heavy-footed. It's like clickety clack clack, clickety clack clack clack. It's like they're tap dancers. Okay, let's see. Patience. This card also came up for someone else. Let me show you. So I pulled the Patience card as your overall, or just not the overall, just the last message or an accompanying message for this reading. So Patience. Life feels out of control right now, and it's hard to see the light through the dust. You continually turn yourself inside out, trying to find ways to deal with the situation. That's very much a Swords energy, was what I was talking about, just fighting with yourself mentally. You are so focused on the situation that you don't realize that sometimes it's not your situation to control. Hand the situation over to the person who is truly in control of it and just simply step back. So the Patience card here means stop agonizing, stop anguishing over this disappointment that happened. It's probably keeping you stuck. And that the true liberation will be to break through those thoughts, here with the Knight of Swords, cutting through it all. To realize that your ultimate ending is the Lovers card here with the Empress card. Don't turn yourself inside out. You're turning yourself inside out trying to find ways to deal with it. Just let go and step back. Whatever the situation is, it could have been vexing you, but just loosen the reins a little bit. And then also very, literally, patience means patience. And then if you were going through a time, where you were kind of wondering, why is this happening to me? When will the bad times end? All that stuff. It means that you just need to kind of wait it out a little bit longer, or you have been waiting it out, and October will deliver you from whatever heartbreak that you were experiencing. So Libra, I hope that you enjoyed your reading, and I do hope that you like, share, and subscribe if you like what you've seen, that you will join me here next month for your November reading. And I hope that, I know that everything's going to be okay for you. All right, I'll see you later.